In an age of war, conquest, and honor, one king rose above all others. His name was Arthur, ruler of Britain, leader of the Knights of the Round Table. After years of victories across the land, Arthur's growing power began to concern the mighty Roman Empire. Rome demanded submission. Arthur answered with defiance. What followed would become one of the greatest wars in medieval legend.
King Arthur of Britain. We come under a command of Emperor Lucius of Rome. The emperor demands tribute and obedience from Britain. You are to recognize Rome's authority and pay what is owed.
Tribute. Britain bows before no empire nor emperor. Tell your emperor I owe him nothing but contempt.
Arthur understood what his answer meant. Rome would not ignore such humiliation. Across Britain, preparations for war began. Knights sharpened swords, armies gathered, and the fate of kingdoms rested upon Arthur's next decision.
Well then, men. Rome marches against us. But do not worry. I will not let Britain live under another ruler's shadow. Who among you will ride beside me?
Wherever Britain marches, I follow.
We would rather die than kneel before Rome.
Go. Return to Lucius. But tell him Arthur does not come with tribute, but with an army.
The Roman ambassadors crossed the sea back to Rome. With them traveled Arthur's answer, a declaration of open war. Soon, all of Europe would feel the impact of the coming conflict.
Emperor Lucius. Arthur refuses tribute. He gathers armies and marches towards Rome.
Then Britain shall burn. Gather the legions. Arthur will learn what happens to those who defy Rome.
Though Arthur appeared fearless before his men, the burden of war weighed heavily upon him. The coming battle would decide not only his future, but the future of Britain itself.
What meaning hides within this vision?
The dragon is you, Arthur. The bear represents Rome. Your dream speaks of victory. You shall crush your enemies and rise above the empire itself.
Then destiny marches beside us.
As Arthur's army advanced through France, another threat emerged. A monstrous giant of Guienne terrorized the countryside, killing innocent people and spreading fear wherever he roamed. Arthur could not ignore such evil.
Another fool comes to die.
I come for whom all the people you have murdered.
You dare wound me.
Thou terror ends tonight.
Arthur's forces drew closer to the Roman armies. Before the battle could begin, Arthur sent Sir Bors and Sir Gawain with one final warning to Emperor Lucius.
King Arthur offers one chance for peace.
Withdraw your armies from France. Surrender your claim to Rome, or face destruction.
Arthur threatens Rome? He is either brave or a fool.
Tension filled the Roman camp. Pride, anger, and hatred consumed both sides. Soon, diplomacy would give way to violence.
Britain is nothing before Rome. Howdy's Britons boast. Anyone would think they had the whole world to wager.
Take back those words.
Never.
The death of Sir Gaius destroyed the final chance for peace between Britain and Rome. Soldiers rushed to arm themselves while commanders shouted orders through the cold morning air. Roman legions stood in formation. Their commanders believed no force in the world could defeat them. But opposite them stood Arthur and the Knights of Britain, men who had crossed oceans, survived countless wars, and followed their king, not because they feared him, but because they believed in him. The air itself seemed tense. Archers tightened bowstrings. Soon, steel would decide the fate of empires. As the battle raged, Arthur saw his chance to strike directly at the heart of the Roman army. One death could decide the war.
You challenge the Emperor of Rome?
I challenge the tyrant who threatened my people.
By sunset, the field belonged to Arthur. Rome's once mighty army had been destroyed.
King Arthur, what message shall we bring back to the people of Rome?
Tell them these bodies are not the only tribute Rome shall receive from Britain. And if this is not enough, we will gladly bring more when we arrive to the heart of Rome itself.
News of Lucius's defeat spread quickly throughout Rome. Fear replaced pride as the people realized Arthur now stood at their gates victorious.
Great King Arthur, spare our city. We will recognize your rule and have you anointed as Emperor of Rome by the Pope.
Rome surrendered before Arthur's advancing army. The king who once refused tribute now stood above the empire itself. After victory abroad, Arthur returned home a legend. His name would echo through history as the king who challenged Rome and won.